All right, in this video, I'm gonna be talking through 5 huge mistakes that can kill your Amazon business and just overall make it a lot more difficult than it needs to be. These are mistakes that I've personally made in one way or another, and I've seen many people make these mistakes. And these things mostly have to do with product research in this video. And that's because, as I've said many times, picking the right products really is the most crucial part of this game. If you pick a great product, a lot can just happen. You can just get this momentum where things happen. And on the other hand, there's people that fanaticize about the analytics and the optimization, which is important and has its place, but no amount of that will fix a crappy product. So these are mistakes that will steer you away from ever getting into that situation, hopefully, where things are just sucking and not going well from the beginning, and then you're doing everything possible to fix it. Rather, let's get off to a good start, and then any of those additional things are to optimize, to grow, and to do even better. A couple real quick things before I get into this first point is, first off, it's been a minute since I posted a YouTube video, and I just want to say thank you guys. On my last video, the response was just really heartfelt and amazing, and it just really got to me, and I was just really impressed by that. So just wanted to say thank you on that, and I'm gonna keep trying. I'm here, I'm posting, so thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for sticking with this channel, and I just really appreciate it. Second thing, I'll talk about this at the end of the video, but I just wanna let you know that I just created this free training for Amazon, and I definitely think that you should check it out, and that's going to be linked below. I won't say more now, but I'll talk about it at the end of this video. And third and lastly, before we hit number 1, is smash the like button, subscribe to this channel if you have not already, leave comments on this video. Those things really help to feed the YouTube algorithm. It helps me out because hopefully this channel and this video can get pushed out to some new people. So those things really do help. And with that out of the way, let's get into the first one, which is choosing a market which cannot really sustain you in it. What I mean is getting into a market that's way too small. This is the crucial number 1 mistake that people make when trying to evaluate a product. I've talked about this before for sure, but this has to be number 1. There's really no other way around it. And it's that you need to get into a market where revenue is flowing already. And we have tools, ways of doing this for free, Jungle Scout Estimator, other free extensions, things like that, Chrome extensions. There are so many ways that we can see where the revenue is already flowing on Amazon. And just the simple fact that we have access to that is absolutely insane. So take advantage of that. I still see a lot, people will be like, look at this product, I think it's a good idea. But then you look at the numbers and it's selling $200 a month. And that is not enough to make any meaningful amount of money once you factor in everything else, right? You really need to make sure that the revenue is up to a point where if you even win in this market, you actually win to some extent. Doesn't have to be huge, doesn't have to be $100,000 a month, but you want it to be worth going after. You can't win and make $3 a month. It's not going to work. And that mistake really has nothing to even do with evaluating competition, figuring out anything that we will be getting into, but this is just that first baseline. Does it pass the test? Is there revenue here? Is this worth even playing? Number 2 on this list is not properly evaluating the competitive landscape of the market you're looking at. So this is a deeper dive into what I was talking about on the last point. This is also factoring in, what is everybody doing? How many people are doing well? How many people are absolutely crushing? How many people are doing a revenue range where I would be happy? How many people are below that, just fighting for scraps, not doing well at all? Because this is the nuanced aspect of product research where that really makes or breaks you the most. And it's finding that market where maybe it's a big market, maybe it's a small market, but it has the right mixture of winners and losers such that you feel there's a high probability of doing the next steps I'm going to talk about in a second, and doing those things in a way that is going to actually give you a shot at breaking in and doing the amount of revenue in this market. So competition, you have to pay attention to it. You have to get your analysis hat on and dive in and look at what everyone's doing. Why is this one succeeding? Why do these 3 suck? Is it just a poor balance? Are there only 3 sellers doing really well and 100 doing poorly? Not good. Are there 30 sellers doing well and 15 doing poorly, and I can figure out reasons why these people are doing poorly? Maybe that's okay. Maybe it's a smaller market. 3 competitors, 2 doing well, 1 sucks. Small market, can get in there. That could work. But it's about evaluating these things as they compare to each other to determine if there's really room to fit into the market. So the mistake here would be diving into this market just because the numbers might look good in step number 1. Yeah, there's revenue, but you need to evaluate if there's actually what are your odds to be able to compete there. That is the most crucial piece. And that leads perfectly into the third mistake, which is going to help you compete, which is how are you differentiating your offer against these other competitors? And the mistake people are making here is not really thinking this through and just seeing numbers and just thinking, if I can just throw up a piece of crap, that it's going to work for me too. And that may have worked 5 years ago. It's definitely not working now. I see it over and over and over, and it doesn't work. So I will link up in the corner a video I made all about crafting an offer that beats your competitors without having to do all this crazy stuff, because the offer means so much. And the way you should think about the offer is, would you buy your own product? That's the way I like to think about it, because if you wouldn't pick your product out of the mix, why the hell would your customers? So everything about the offer, everything about the differentiation is about creating your product slightly differently, positioning it slightly differently, such that it is the clear choice amongst those competitors. So then when you see that the revenue is there, then you see that there's room to compete, then you actually have a leverage point to give yourself a real good shot at getting in there and achieving your revenue goals, because you've differentiated, the revenue is there, and the level of competition is manageable. Fourth mistake, those of you who know my channel well would know that I could not leave this off the list, and this is picking a product that has no possibility of scale and growing a product line and a product brand. So a lot of people miss this. They just look for a product and they launch it, and then they look for a product and then they launch it. Some might do well, some might do poorly. But the real magic is in selling a suite of products that are related to each other. People who buy product A may be interested in product B or C down the line. Maybe you buy product B, but then product B works together with product D, which is a product that people might buy every single month. This is how you build out a big business, that you have multiple products that work together, that you can cross promote to the same audience, to your past customers. You can build upon what you're doing rather than start over. This is still a huge mistake that people make. And a sort of sub point to this mistake, another mistake, is some people will take this too far. And your first brand may not be your winner. So you can't be so married to your first product that you think that this is, you can't look elsewhere. Maybe you start to expand your first brand, or maybe your first product doesn't do well. So then you just immediately go to a second product with this brand vision. That's more or less what I did. My second brand was bigger than my first over time. I know a lot of people that struggled with their first launch and then went on to launch a more branded approach, because you get better at product research the more you do it, and you get better at the vision and what this could be beyond just like, oh, look, I can sell this one product and make a little bit of money. Instead, you see the longer term potential. So don't make that mistake. As much as you can be aware of that from the beginning, that's going to put you in a better place to not find yourself in that trap later on. Fifth mistake is getting more and more crucial as Amazon does tighten up and get a little bit more tricky. By the way, probably my next video or two is going to be my thoughts on Amazon into 2020 and selling into the future. So let me know in the comments if you want to see that, and maybe any particular questions you want to make sure that I hit on in that video, let me know. But this problem is having a low profit margin, or not even knowing your numbers rock solid and understanding what's really going on with the business you're about to get into. So this is a problem, because you might think, look, I can sell this product for $20, I can make $4 a piece, and you might think that's 20%. That's pretty good. And I could see how the math can make sense at a low margin. But the thing that you're missing is advertising. You're missing cash flow because there's going to be so much cash tied up in your inventory and needing to reorder and trying to launch new products. So it's not even selfish. You need something that is pretty wildly profitable just to have the cash to continue to expand, eventually pay yourself. We're in this to make money and ultimately change our lives and get to a better place in some way. So it has to be generating a lot of cash. So, this means look for those products that are 40, 50+% margin, and then you factor in all your last costs, your ads, your things like that afterwards. But that is really where you need to be looking moving forward as things tighten up even more. A sixth bonus mistake that I have definitely been guilty of myself, and this is something to be aware of, is depending on where you are financially, if your back's up against the wall, look for the opportunities. I get you can love the process of building this business because it can generate money. If you're all right financially and you're getting into this, you will absolutely burn out if it's not a product that you're kind of passionate about too. So depending on your goals, think about where you're really headed. And I strongly urge people to try to do something that they feel good about, something that's good for the world, something that's, passionate to you a little bit, something you can get a bit excited about, or you will burn out. And it doesn't have to be a perfect match, but the more it's a little bit interesting to you, the more that's going to give you a little bit more energy to work on it. All right, so if that was helpful to you, not only should you smash the like button, but what you should really do is check out this free training that I just made. This is brand new. It is linked below this video, or you can find it by going to zerotobrandcourse.com/free training. And it's going to be especially important to you because the main focus of the training, amongst a few other things, is we're really breaking down those 5 things that I talked about in this video and learning how to do it the other way. Like, don't make the mistake, but here's the way to develop your product evaluation lens for yourself so you can really be certain that the products you're looking at are not worth doing, or hopefully finding the ones that are worth doing and really give you that level of confidence that you need to jump in and launch that product and invest in it. And I'm also talking on this training about how to position your business in a way where competition won't matter to you as much because you're doing these things to build a strong moat around your business, even to Chinese suppliers who may be competing with you directly. How can you protect yourself against that? And also talking about how to leverage FBA and all these things available to us to make this business relatively hands-off. I wouldn't say passive income by any means, but this is not a business that needs to take 16 hours a day type of thing. It doesn't have to be that way. And I also break down a couple case studies, one being how I reached $1 million in my second year of selling on Amazon, the exact steps there broken down in detail, and also a recent product launch that really quickly got to $30,000 a month. That is also broken down in this free training. And lastly, the entire thing is in a way that has to do with minimizing your risk of loss as much as possible. That's what I was talking about in this video. How do you avoid making these costly mistakes? So that is the approach that I'm taking to all of these things. How can you make your investment in products, in launching on Amazon? How can you make it as low as possible? It's never going to be no risk. You have to be somebody that's taking a risk if you're going to be starting a potentially life-changing business. But how do we minimize those risks as much as possible so we can just play for that upside as much as possible? So if that sounds good to you, it's totally free. It's in the description. Check it out. I promise it will not be a waste of your time. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel if you've not already, hit that bell so you won't miss any videos from me, and leave a comment, questions, just what you thought of this video. I definitely read and respond to all of them and just really appreciate anyone who feeds that YouTube algorithm beast. So let me know what you think about that next Amazon 2020 video, what you want to see, and thanks for watching. See ya.